What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy N8K9, otherwise known as Nate Dogg, and happy holiday season, everybody. Today we're taking a step back from our randomized fights with friends to open our own gym. Sit back and enjoy the story of this gym of mine. Part 1. Fighting! Our journey begins by picking the fighting type as our gym's primary typing and choosing our starter. We ended up going with Riolu, naming it Monk, and beginning our journey. Once we had arrived, we were greeted by the mayor, who informed us that the previous gym leader just seemed to have vanished, and now the town is under plague by gang activity. But the town is just located to the north, so we should be good to go. Once we got into town, the mayor showed us our new home and left us to unpack. Once we got inside, we did find a package that contained our gym's signature move, Brick Break. So now we're all unpacked, ready to begin our journey, and all of a sudden, there's some commotion going on outside. I race out to see what's going on, and it's just one of the gang members deciding to cause issues for the townsfolk outside of the town hall. So of course, we had to make an example of him and throw hands. So once we made it into the town hall, we met up with the mayor, who told us that even though we are a fighting type gym, we are allowed to have 2 Pokemon who do not have the fighting typing, so long as they could learn our signature move, Brick Break. He also explained that reputation is going to be very important for us, and that if we lose too many battles, we could actually lose our gym. So now that I know what the stakes are, it's time to start building my team. I started by catching a Shroomish, only to find out that he can't learn Brick Break until he evolves into Breloom. So for now, Mario is going to enjoy his time in the box. I then called a Wooper, but unfortunately I made the same mistake as the Shroomish, so I called him Oops, because he can't learn Brick Break until he evolves either. So the only positive so far to this outing has been that I did find a Soothe Bell for Monk, so that he can evolve into Lucario sooner versus later. After a frankly disappointing first outing, we were on our way home when we received a call from the mayor to meet him in the gym. The mayor then proceeds to introduce me to the current gym trainers, as well as reminds me how to recruit new ones. He also reminds me what's at stake, and if I lose too many gym battles, I could lose my gym entirely. He also takes the opportunity to tell me that since I am just starting, I only need 3 Pokemon to start my gym, and later on that I would need 6. So with my first 2 additions to the team being duds, I'm now in a race to find just any fighting type, or at the very least any 2 Pokemon that can learn Brick Break. Luck finally strikes when I managed to find Sandshrew, who we ended up calling Spike, and Dude, the Geodude. Now I get it, they're not very creative names, but look, they're not going to be on the team for very long. I just want to start my first day as a gym leader, and they fit the bill. But once we taught our new members our signature move and placed our future team members into the box, it was time to start our first day. And just like that, day 1 was done, but I didn't have to use all of my Pokemon, so it wasn't really that much of a challenge, so I decided just to jump in right to day 2. Alright, so that's the end of day 2, but I know what you're probably thinking. For a fighting type gym, we sure are throwing a lot of rocks. So I'm gonna go out in the grass and see if I can't find us someone else to join the team. Luckily enough, after a little bit of searching, we managed to find an Elekid that we brought onto the team, and we named him Buzz. After checking to make sure he could learn our signature move, he was on the team, and unfortunately Spike got put into the box. Even though I wasn't able to find a new fighting type to add to the team, I was excited to get into day 3, so let's get it. Once we had finished up for the day, we were invited by the mayor to come speak with him outside of town hall. Once we got there, we were rudely challenged by one of the locals, and I knew it was time to train up our Pokemon. But while we were in the grass, we had some interesting encounters. Let's see. Oh, a Temple. That could be pretty cool. Yeah, that's called foreshadowing. All right. Oh, and a Timber, too. Okay, there's another fighting type. Have you figured this out yet? Alright, come on, man. The Heracross! Let's go! And to wrap up our training adventure, Monk evolved into Lucario. Now it's time to go face Elizabeth. And with that, we decided to call it a day, but had an early morning when we received a phone call from the mayor informing us that we had reached rank 1 as a gym leader, which now meant that stronger trainers would be coming to challenge our gym. But with the team coming together, I had no doubt that we would be able to face these next few days. Here's how it turned out. So after days of fighting in our gym, fending off challengers, we finally got the call from the mayor letting us know that we had reached rank 2, which unlocked a very unique opportunity. Just outside of our gym, we meet the trainer Bliss, whose team is completely made up of Blissey, which is absolutely fantastic when it comes to getting experience. She also warns us that the upcoming fights will be much harder, and recommends that we get to level 30 before proceeding. After hearing this, we went and filled our team, came back and fought Bliss, and after fending off her 6 level 50 Blissies, these were the results. After nearly our entire team had evolved, I felt more confident than ever we were ready to hold down the gym. Let's see how it went. I'd say that went fairly well. Let's go again. All right, guys, just like that, another day down. I think it's time we cut in early. We'll call it a... Okay, hold on. Somebody's at the door. You try to be a nice guy, and you get ambushed. Well, now I'm throwing hands. After educating the gang on why it was a bad idea to kidnap me, I finally managed to get out of their hideout. On my way back home, I ran into the mayor and my gym guy. As we're discussing what events just unfolded, we were rudely interrupted by the infamous leader of the gang, Edgar, who began to tell us that his group was not a group of kidnappers and he wasn't sure who ordered my kidnapping, but he would get to the bottom of it. And when the time was right, we would fight and settle things fair and square. And this was also the part where we found out we elevated to gym leader rank number 3, which meant the next time we opened up our gym, we would need 6 Pokemon. Which presently is kind of a problem because I only have 3 fighting type Pokemon. The other 2 are allowed only because they know Brick Break. That means I need to find somebody else to come onto the team. But I think I know where to look. We backtrack to where we found Timber and quickly add him to the team. That gives us a full team that we can use in the upcoming gym battles, but the team wouldn't last for long. While doing a little bit of extra training in the grass, we ran into a Chimchar who immediately came onto the team and we named him Wukong. After a little bit of training, Wukong gained enough experience so that he could evolve, gaining his fighting type and making it to where we were ready to open the gym. After a hard day of working in the gym, Wukong was finally ready to evolve into Infernape, giving us a fully evolved Pokemon. And with that, we were ready to rinse and repeat yet another day. After today's go in the gym, I can't help but feel that our team just isn't quite right. There seems to be one missing link, and that's Oops. The only one on the team who has very poor attack stats, both special and physical, and can't really hold his own. So I think it's time we find a new Pokemon to replace him. So we end up going back out to the swamplands where we found Temple earlier in our run. Once we locate him, we quickly bring him onto the team, get him trained up so that he evolves not once, but twice, giving us a fully evolved ground water type Pokemon that knows Brick Break. After a hard day of training, we come back home only to find a letter from Edgar, who's challenging us to come to his hideout and fight to see who really gets to own the gym. After fighting my way back through the hideout, I managed to find Edgar's chambers. This is where he tells me he's tired of the nonsense and is ready to settle things once and for all. He also tells me that he is trained under the best and has learned how to teach Pokemon moves that they wouldn't ordinarily know. And what's at stake for this fight? Well, nothing short of ownership of my gym. After a very tough fight, Edgar finally admits defeat. After shrugging it off and kicking me out, I go back home and check up on my team. Knowing that they had put in their all, we decided to call it a night, because the very next day, we had a gym to run. So after all of that, I'm glad I finally just have a moment to take a breath, relax, give my team a break, and just chill. But I guess the Pokemon universe had other plans. When I went down to the town hall, I noticed a crowd had formed, and in the center of it was the champion, who informed me that today was my champion review day, which meant that me and him were about to go in an all-out battle in front of the entire town. Well, I guess what could go wrong? After successfully defeating the champ, he promotes me to rank 5. After a tough fight like that, I elected not to open the gym for the day, but instead to head home early. But when I got home, I found a mysterious letter asking me to return to the gym, but not to say anything. I was greeted by an unknown man who demanded that we have a Pokemon battle. After a hard-fought battle, one of our gym trainers, Sandy, manages to come into the gym and identify this mysterious individual. She goes on to tell us that this is the former gym leader, Jason. Jason then begins to tell us the story of how he was blackmailed into abandoning the gym. But he didn't tell anybody because he didn't want anyone to be hurt in the process, and warned us that this same thing could happen to us in the future. Since we didn't know who sent Jason the original letter, there wasn't really anything we could do. But keeping his warning in mind, we went ahead and opened up the gym anyway. Once the doors were open, however, instead of a typical trainer who was here to challenge the gym, we were greeted by Sandy. She brought congratulations from the mayor for us reaching rank 7. She also brought a letter similar to Jason's, but addressed to me. So with no other options, we took the letter to the local authorities, and they put the entire town on high alert and told us to keep our eyes and ears open. But not a day later, we get an urgent knock at the door from our gym guy saying that he can't contact our other gym trainers. With this news, we rushed to the town hall where we met with the mayor and the local police, and having no other options, they decided to send me to the Badlands to check to see if the gang had anything to do with it. On my way, I did run into the gym guy and Sandy, who confirmed that my gym trainers were in the Badlands being held by the gang members. But once I had arrived at the hideout, who should I find but Edgar, who had just been kicked out. So immediately I rush in to see who this new gang leader is, when to my surprise, it's the mayor. The mayor then tries to tell me a story about how he's had it so bad because he always wanted to be a trainer, but became a mayor instead because he could help people, but now gym leaders help people more. It was all kind of confusing. I did get to see Edgar get his butt whooped though. And just like that, it's time for the big bad boss. And who would have guessed it would have been the mayor? If you knew, let me know down in the comments, but it's time to throw hands, fighting style. And just like that, the big bad fell. I had completed the game. I had started my own gym, proven that fighting types deserve a seat at the table, and had truly built this gym of mine. Fighting! And that wraps up another video for us, guys. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to go down and smash that like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. We also do team fight challenges. You can find links to those videos both here and here. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure that you click that button right up here for that subscription. I appreciate it, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. See ya!